Old school. Well, not old school. I guess this is kind of new school. We've been doing the old school thing on PrepperNow here, with of course the doing the old school videos and the intros and stuff like that. I'm just kind of testing the waters. I want to see what works best. We've had a good mojo here as of late, but we want to keep it up. Also, now that sports ball is not taking up a lot of my time in the evening, between 6 and 10 o'clock, then I get a little extra time to come on over here and a little chit chat, little talk about what's going on. And there's some things of concern, to say the least. So there is some scare. How do I put it? The people that are in control currently, with the current administration, regime, whatever you want to call them, are kind of starting to get worried. So we're gonna take you through it. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to give up the old gavel, the power, the whatever, pretty easily. So, watching the poly market, and of course, over here it says, will Trump win the 2024 presidential? Affectionate message by Mr. Elon below it. 58% chance. Right there. That is poly market. That is the real deal. That's a great way to kind of figure out what's what and who's going to win. And Trump is really starting to kind of run away with it, to be honest with you guys. Okay. Not saying this because, I want anyone to win. You know my feelings. I'd rather have him in control, but at the same time, I really don't think that the people in power are going to give up power, and I think we're headed for a bunch of craziness anyway. Okay, so it really doesn't matter who gets in there. All Trump is, and I've said this many times, he's a speed bump. He'll give you more time to get your ish together down the road. Okay, and that's important. You want to have that time. You want to get your stuff together. You want to, just be prepared, and he'll give you a little extra time, right? So, let's go through these real quick, and then they're gonna tell you why. Polling averages, real clear polling is the gold standard. Okay, if you want the real deal, real clear polling is the way to do it. When I was getting my poli-sci degree, we would go to real clear for everything, and the reason why is because it's just down the middle. It's got everything consolidated there. They're not trying to make one thing or anything else. They're just taking polls of the polls, essentially. So we learn to go into the background and kind of see how are they doing it. Are these registered voters? Are these likely voters? Who are they sampling? What is the demographic? What time are they calling them during the day? Are they doing it via cell phone, or are they doing it, in other ways? So these things there's, as they said, there's lies, damn lies, and then there's statistics. Just same thing with polling. They can do whatever they want to get it however they want when they want it. If the Harris group wants to make it so she's up by 5, they can make it so she's up by 5. You get the point. Same thing with Trump. Now, Mr. Trump is starting to run away with it. About a week ago, as reported here, I think here yesterday, it was 51-48 Harris. Okay? And then the hurricanes hit. And the hurricanes did a lot of damage. Not just to the areas, the environment of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. I mean, it did a number on the chances of Kamala Harris. Okay? So the problem with this one right here is that a couple of states that are really the key are now starting to be picked up by Trump. And it's really coming. They can say in August, so-and-so is going to win. When you're in mid-October and you're really coming around the bend of this horse race, there is a tightening of things, and everybody kind of puts it together, and they stop jacking around and saying, oh, well, I'm considering doing this. No. People get their real true feelings together and they do it. So biggest lead for Trump is reported in Arizona, margin of 1.1. He's got leads in Georgia, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is the key. They just had a poll come out in Nevada, and Nevada, they've got online, or not online, pre-register or pre-voting, 1,800 Trump, 1,300 to Kamala, from what, or Republican to Democrats. That's big. The three main metrics that are really good for the Republicans are all going very positively. The voter registration is a big one. What's going on with the pre-voting or the voting, the mail-in ballots? All these things are going in Trump's favor, okay? And there's a reason for this. So, as it stands right here, he's pulling ahead in the Battleground States. This is really bad. Now, of all of these, Pennsylvania is the biggest problem. And let me tell you why. I'm just south of Pennsylvania. I'm in Maryland, but I'm just south of it. Pennsylvania is the key. He could, lose Nevada, and he could lose Wisconsin and even Michigan. But if he picks up Pennsylvania, they've got so many electoral votes, it's over. He's going to win. There are even some people saying now that he is going to win the popular vote, which hasn't happened in a long time. Why? Because all of the Democrat voters live in the cities, which is why they piss and moan about making it so the popular vote is the most important thing. But anybody knows the reason, the brilliance behind the Electoral College is the fact that it makes you go out to Western North Carolina. It makes you go out to rural Kansas and rural Wyoming and rural Texas. It makes it so everywhere you have to have representation. It really is a brilliant system. Take it or leave it. So, I'm seeing what Northern Girl. Great to see you, love. Being shipped for swing states for reason. Yep, absolutely. You are correct. They're trying to do it. And it's still not working, which is kind of what I'm getting my point to, okay? I'm going to go over here to Citizen Free Press. I'm going to do it for a reason. So that's a look right there. That says electoral votes on that map right there from polling is 83 to Trump, 10 to Harris. So she's screwed. This is the big one right here. Okay, I'm going to just go through these. I'm not going to go to all these different sites, but Citizens Free Press does a really good job of these kind of looks into stuff from X and all that. Okay. Let's see. You've got, where are they all? All right, here we go. Trump and Cruz have solid leads in Texas. Trump leads 49-48 in the new Michigan poll. Kennedy's taking ballots. Long line outside precinct in DeKalb County. Those that know Georgia know DeKalb County, former resident of Georgia, way back in the day. Oftentimes go down there. DeKalb is like an outskirt of Atlanta. Okay, Yale poll shows that Trump may even win the popular vote. 50-47 in Georgia. 42% of voters now identify as independent. Rasmussen, Trump up by 3 in Pennsylvania. They are freaking screwed as it stands right now. So what are they trying to do? Okay. Well, they're going to start to give people all kinds of crap. Not by crap, I mean like free stuff, right? When you're at the bottom of the barrel, you just start chucking out anything you can. So, here we go. This is, saying this is an hour ago that we need to review reparations. And she said, she's touting her own economic agenda. And I'm going to destroy that here in a moment. Build up intergenerational wealth. Okay, that's good. That sounds great. You know, all kinds of videos out there saying she's going to build the middle class, which at this point it's been basically strip mined. So she says, at a point on the point of reparation that has to be studied. No question about that. Okay, like how does that work, right? We won't even go in that far. She used the question to pivot to her own economic agenda, touting measures she said would expand access to financial capital to black entrepreneurs and steps to help make it easier to aid homebuyers. In an interview, she also touted efforts to bolster community banks that provide service to historically underserved groups. So she's basically saying, if you're one of these underserved communities, which is a fancy word for minorities, they're going to help you out. They're going to do stuff to help you. Now, she has said that she's going to give, God, what is it, 10,000 or something like that on, I forget the exact number, but it's like 10 to 15,000 on home loan down payments for home loans. Well, I don't know if you have, seen the home prices lately, but 10 grand on a $487,000, 1,200 square foot shit shack isn't really going to go far. Just saying, I've been around long enough to know that the house prices have exploded in a very disjointed, economically screwed up way. The housing market from 2021 to 2024, I think can be described in words like insane, unrealistic, and just crazy. I mean, it is absolutely nuts. So she's going to say she's going to do that. The other thing she said she's going to do is she's going to offer $20,000 loans only to African-American business owners. They can do things like crypto or start a weed business, things like that. The things that they name for the African-American communities to start are, honestly, I think insulting. To think that like all they care about is crypto and getting stoned is kind of insulting. I actually have a lot of African Americans that I work with in the sports area of things, and great people. They have integrity. They care about the community. They want to build up the young athletes, and maybe something on that kind of a level. Maybe that she should have mentioned starting something like intramural sports or something like that. There's a real pandering that's going on, and the old playbook is really out of juice, and which is the larger overarching theme that I'm getting here. The things that worked in 2020, the things that worked in 2016, the things that worked with Obama in 2012, they're not working anymore. They're just not. People aren't buying it. People are freaking strapped. Nobody has money the way they used to, at least 4 years ago. How do we know this? Well, we'll just kind of mosey on over here right now. And this is Walgreens. Okay. They're going to close 1,200 stores. Why they have a picture of CVS, I don't know, but whatever. That's the next 3 years. 500 closures set for next year. Faced with low drug reimbursement rates, slower consumer spending. People aren't going out and buying what they used to. So a lot of these legacy major retailers are dying on the vine. Walgreens is screwed. They can't do it. All right. There's no foot traffic coming in. Have you been in some of these stores? Like you walk in and you can't even get people. Like I think that there's at certain points I walk in, I think the only people that are there are the people in the pharmacy. There's no one like working the counters. There's no one walking around. There's nothing. There's just like you walk into a store. There's no one behind the freaking counters, and you're like, okay, I got to go pick up something for whatever, right? Go pick up some Band-Aids. And you go pick up the Band-Aids and you're like ready to pay and there's no one around. So I don't know. Maybe that's my personal experience, but they're going to shutter 14% of its U.S. locations And they say they're gonna redeploy the majority of the workers impacted. That's a big fancy word for you're gonna be redeployed out of a job. You're screwed. So they're not making money. Spent years building its business through acquisitions, completely neglected the fundamentals of its stores and its retail operations. And they did. They don't know what the heck they're doing anymore. So 2025 earnings, they met expectations, but it doesn't matter. People don't go into these places for stuff anymore. The brick and mortar footprint is not really useful anymore. And part of it, is the prices. I mean, if there's something in Walgreens that I want, I can go online and find it for literally half as much online on Amazon or eBay or Walmart.com or whatever. These places are obsolete. I don't need to go to Walgreens to get my aspirin. I don't need to go to Walgreens for my Band-Aids. They'll have it up there jacked up for $10 for a 25 pack of Band-Aids, which used to be 99 cents 4 years ago. And now it's you can walk in there and first of all, you find what you're looking for. No one can help you. The prices are astronomical, and then you can't even check out because there's nobody freaking there. So company in June said it would close a significant portion of its roughly 8,600 U.S. stores, but did not disclose the exact number. I mean, they're screwed. And if you work there, you're kind of screwed. So here are other ones that are kind of going through the ringer. This model is screwed. Rite Aid planned to shutter 154 stores. They used to be all over the place. Now they're nowhere. When I lived in Carolina, they were there, and they were closing them down there, and that was many years ago. And they got screwed over, as it says here, the opioid-related lawsuits. CVS, they're cutting 2,900 jobs, part of an effort to reduce costs by $2 billion. Again, they're trying to make it up also do the doc in the box thing, but that's not working either. Job cuts represent about 1% of the healthcare company's workforce, CVS spokesperson told. If you want to save your business and you have to save money, the first thing you do is you start chopping jobs. I learned this through the restaurant business. You go lean and mean. You find you got a fleet of 12 people working your restaurant. You get down to 7 or 8 that can do everything and want to make money and show up and do what they're supposed to do. You 86 the other 4 people, and you run the show. That's what they're doing, but on a larger scale. So, and it's not just, this retail style. I mean, this is screwed. But anyway, so is 7-Eleven. They're going to close 400 stores in North America. This is 7-Eleven. This is a convenience store. This is a place that serves the slices of pizza and the rolling corn dog tacos, whatever the heck they are, that have been there for 7 days straight on the little roller, look like they've been covered in wax and yeah, disgusting. So 400 stores across North America they're closing. So they're a Tokyo-based company. And they're going to get rid of 444 low-earning locations due to inflation. Now, if you know anything about 7-Eleven, 7-Elevens are freaking everywhere. They're all over. They are universal. They're in other countries. They're all over America. They kind of were there. They were the big go-to, and then they kind of went away for a while and got almost, died, and then they got brought back. And, 7-Elevens are, your quintessential convenience store. Not even a convenience store can make it in this kind of an environment. All these impacted sales, merchandise gross profit. And what is that? It's inflation. Let's be honest. Cigarette sales have decreased, staggering 26% since 2019. Why? Because everybody's vaping. And if they're not vaping, they're giving it up and they're doing other stuff. Also, you mark my words, weed is cutting into it. That's an 80-year low. Consumers have switched to alternative nicotine products like Zine or whatever. 7.3% decline in store traffic in August. That's just called I'm too broke to buy anything. Total number of closures expected, 3% of the 13,000 7-Eleven stores. It doesn't sound like a terrible amount, but the real devil's in the details. When you're missing 7% of people walking in the store because people are broke. People don't have money anymore. So when you go back to this, why is Kamala not winning? She's not winning because people are not doing well. And the old narratives of how they're going to fix it don't work anymore. Nobody believes it anymore. Nobody believes this crap anymore. Seriously. I mean, that's why they're going out and trying to chuck out $20,000 to African Americans, because even the African Americans are like, man, we don't buy this crap anymore. Have you seen our cities lately? Have you seen what it's like to try to go to a 7-Eleven to get something? First and foremost, it's violent AF. You can't even get there. And if you can get there, the products are too overpriced. Not even fountain drinks are affordable anymore. Those things are freaking $2 in some cases. So people aren't making it. It's not happening anymore. So U.S. consumers are seeing higher long-range inflation, rising delinquency risk. How are you going to make it if you know that the inflation is going to keep going up? How are you going to make it if you think you're going to be delinquent on your credit cards, your car payment, your car note? You're not going to go take more credit out, or you're not. I mean, well, you do, because if you're, about to lose everything, you might take out a Hail Mary credit card. But fact is that, and the funny thing is these numbers. Hold on, real quick. Whoosh. These numbers that they chuck out here are total BS. They're total BS. I'm sorry. Inflation a year from now is seen holding steady at 3%. 3 years from now, seen at 2.7%. August, 2.5% estimate, 2.9% and 5%. It's crap. Crap. How do I know that? I mean, look at, I always go by the eggs at Aldi. Okay, that's my metric. Eggs at Aldi the other day, when I went there to shop, were $3.77 for a dozen. When Rona was rolling in 2020, 2021, the eggs were 79 cents. And, it's bird flu. No, bull-ished. You don't go up by that much. Sorry. It's gone up by that much because nobody can freaking afford it, and they printed the crap out of money through quantitative easing and these stupid stimulus things. Man, we were talking about Spanish flu today, and oh my gosh, if you think my rants are any kind of epic here or on the crisis report, I didn't put any F-bombs in there, but my Lord, I went off. Because they're wondering what's going on. And I'm talking about what all the politicians did with Rona, and I mean, it's just absolute idiocy. They shut down the world, and then they cut everybody, a bunch of stimulus checks. And then one of my students looked at me. He's like, well, what does that mean? I said, it means that everything is inflated now. And he kind of put it together. He said, oh. I said, yeah. I said, all of our food and everything didn't go up in price just out of nowhere. It's because these jackasses shut the world down and said, we'll keep people afloat by keeping them at home and then cutting them stupid checks and printing the crap out of money. Now everybody's broke, and the Democrats are like, well, God, just can't figure out why people don't want to vote for me. Voter registration. It was in the Democrats' favor in 2020 and before. It is now in the Republicans' favor by 4% nationally. 42% of all people identify as independents because they hate both parties. So the 58% that's left over, the Democrats have like 23%. They're not going to make it, you know? So here's what I'm getting at with this whole, like, they're not going to let go. Today, Trump came in and he said, and again, I don't see him as a savior. I see him as a speed bump. He came in and he basically said, there's a group of unelected people that are in power right now. They're running the show. Yes, you are absolutely right, Watchman. Here comes the doom. These people are unelected. They're running the shows. And let me ask you all, and if you think this, we'll do a little PrepperNow impromptu vote in the chat. I love these. If you think those people that are right now, you know, whether you want to call them the swamp, the deep state, unelected jackholes that are there and in permanent Washington, whatever moniker you have for them, do you think for 1 second those people are going to go off into that beautiful sunset? Do you think they're going to give their jobs up and just be like, okay, we lost this time. Let's go back to the woodshed and figure this stuff out? If you think they're going to do that, put a 2 in. If you think they're going to sit there and freaking do everything they can to hold on to power or run this mother effer into the ground, you put a 1 in the chat. 2 for they'll give up. 1 for they're going to run it in the ground and they will take the whole thing like a burning carcass into hell. You are absolutely damn right. These arrogant pieces of shit, and pardon my French, but they are. They don't care about you. They don't care about anything except power. Every single one of them that is in that, there's not a damn one of them that's going to be like, oh, you know what, we lost. Okay, let's go back. Maybe we can get a better candidate. No. No. No to the no to the no. No, they're gonna do everything they can, and it's gonna be abject chaos. And I've been thinking about this, you know, like what's going on, because you got this whole global conflict thing. We did the Flashpoints video last night. If you didn't check it out, thank you for coming. But if you look at like all the Flashpoints, you know, they've been really trying to get Israel to like kind of like do sanctions and not strike and just, you know, wait till after the election and everything else. And they very well might. They haven't struck yet, as far as I know, as of 8:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If they know, air quotes they, right? Again, permanent Washington, deep state swamp, whatever you want to call them. If they, air quotes they, know that they're not going to have power or they're going to lose it, you tell me if you don't think one of the contingency plans is to set the whole world on fire and to try to maintain control that way. Get some kind of a super emergency going on. If you don't think that is at least in the back of some of these jackasses' minds, I'm sorry, you got another thing coming. You mark my words. There are people that are like, you know what? If we were to get into some kind of a major conflict, we might have to just call an emergency and stay in power. All right, what does Dave say? He says, hold on, I like what Dave said. They will get Trump out, and I fear civil chaos will ensue. I agree. Is that Dana Zoyer. Now, you all know my theory that basically Trump will win at some in some, you know, kind of way, but they will do everything they can to take this into lawfare. What is lawfare? Lawfare, of course, is where they just take it to the courts and they just set this sucker into any kind of a courtroom that will hear him, and they just perpetuate it for as long as possible. And as all that's going on, they get their mainstream media douchebags, which, by the way, mainstream media has never been lower in trust in our country right now today. came out like yesterday, I think it was. Never been lower. So, all I can say is, I agree, William Pence. I think that the plans are starting. I think they're starting to come to. This is why I made this video tonight. I think tonight and this next few days in the past, I think they're really starting to get a clear picture that it doesn't matter. People are tired. They're broke. Permanent Washington, the regime, the administration in power right now, they are not liked by basically anyone, really. And it's starting to come down like a ton of bricks on their psyche. I watch a guy by the name of Dr. Stephen Turley. Okay, he does great stuff when it comes into the analytical things of the polling and stuff. And he had a video today basically saying there's people in Washington that are like, well, maybe we should switch out Kamala right now. How do you do that? How do you get rid of Kamala right now with, 3 weeks before the election? How do you do that? You can't. And the first thing I thought of when I heard that today, I watched the video. It's been a 9-minute video. Good stuff. He goes through it. The only problem with this video is you have to sit there and suffer through some like health cream or whatever for the first minute so he can make his money. Whatever. I fast forward. First thing I thought of when I saw that was, there is no way these people are going to give up any power. None. There's no way. There's no way they're going to be like, you know what? Let's get... No. If they're like, gosh, there's 3 weeks left. Can we still switch out Hillary? They know that the jig is up. They know they're screwed. They know they're not going to make it. They're not going to retain power. And they know at this point they have to start thinking of contingency plans, things that you and I are not going to like. Now, whether that's lawfare, a long emergency, I don't know what it is. And I pray to God that they do go sunset into that dark night and go away and never to be seen again. But I think you and I both know that there's no way those people are going to just be like, we'll go away. We lost this one. Let's go woodshed, Because that's what used to happen. It used to be like, oh my gosh, we lost. Like the Democrats, Mondale got his butt handed to him. Bush came in and defeated, what's his name from Massachusetts? The dark-haired guy. Anyway, the 88 election. If you want to put his name in, he had a Greek name. I can't remember it. Anyway, and then they woodshed it and they brought in Clinton in 92 and it worked. And then, of course, we got Hillary, which, ugh. So, Dukakis, thank you very much. Thank you, A.M. Ryan. Dukakis. Yeah. Michael Dukakis, thank you very much. Former Massachusetts governor. Yeah. They're not going to give up power, folks. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way these people are like, you know what? These people are used to getting everything their way. They're used to doing whatever they can. They're used to having all the control. And whenever you get that kind of a power, it's addictive. And you don't give it up. And you don't care to give it up. And it is a whatever it takes kind of mentality. And that's what's going on. It will be whatever it takes. It will do whatever it takes to hold on to power and stay in. There are people that are wargaming the Trump and the Republicans are going to win everything. They're going to win the House. They're going to win the Senate. They're going to win the presidency. And they're going to win most of the state and legislatures. There's a lot of people that think that's a very big possibility. You want to talk about crap in their pants. If you're one of these people that have been in power and doing some less than savory things, to enrich yourselves. And I think we all know that there's definitely some people that are doing that. You're going to do whatever you can to hold on to power. So, I just wanted to pop on and have a little chit chat about that because we're screwed, financially. You got all kinds of stores, shutting down. the polling is not doing great for the Democrats. Trump has pulled ahead, and I think they're frightened of what will be ushered in with him. Because people are sick and tired of it. They're done. So all I can say is hold on to your butts, because it's coming. Broken Arrow, that's a good question. And that's the other thing. Like, that again, you know, say what you will about Trump. You know, I voted for him. This will be the third time I vote for him probably in a row. And, you know, he's a flawed candidate, but he's a speed bump. That's all it is. I have no point. There's at no point am I like, yeah, you know, he's going to turn everything around. I hope he does. But I know the reality. And the reality is that at $35 trillion in debt, we're screwed. And it's just a matter of time. And the financials, the BRICS versus dollar, the East versus West, the SMO in Europe, the, you know, Middle Eastern escapades, Taiwan being encircled by, you know, the PLA right now. There's a lot of things that could go on. And the people that are in power could use a lot of those things to ride the chaos. And the problem is that chaos is going to affect us and our families. So, yep. Yep, he's absolutely correct, Northern Girl. No, they're after us. They hate us. You know, air quotes they. So, all right, friends, I'm going to wrap it up on that. Thanks so much for being here tonight. There's a great video by Bear Independent I think you all should watch. Pinball supposedly has weighed in on it. I have not had the time to see it quite yet. I'm going to probably watch it tonight for my evening homework. But basically, it's the real deal of what's going on in places like Western North Carolina and the other ravaged places. I strongly suggest you watch it. Those guys are both doing excellent work. Highly respect them for what they're doing. You know, this is why the mainstream media is no longer trusted, is because it takes people like us to go out and to try to expose some sunlight along these places that need disinfection. So God bless Bear Independent for doing what he's doing. God bless Pinball for doing what he's doing, you know. And when I mention I'm in no way, in any way, around the level of those two gentlemen. And if I ever got the chance to shake their hands, I would definitely do it. So, all right, friends, we're going to cut it off on that one. I appreciate you. Hit the like button and do all that. Hit the links in the description. You got Gab, Minds, Truth, X. You've got Subscribe, Star, and Locals for the stuff you can't put on the major socials like Facebook. And then, of course, you got membership here like JFlow and Bad Bobber. Thank you so much for being members here. $2 a month will get you support and keep the videos rolling. Like to thank my mods like Northern Girl Hobbies, OG. Please visit her. You want to talk about a prepper that knows what she's talking about. She's great. But I appreciate y'all, okay? Go out and do the things, man. There's a lot of problems on the horizon. We got 3 weeks, and then from there, all hell could break loose. I mean, for all we know, it could start tonight. I don't even know. I haven't even checked. I mean, there could be major problems going on with Israel and Iran right now. That's about to pop off. So, we'll see. All right, friends. Thank you so much. And we'll have a crisis report here in a couple hours. God bless. PrepperNow.